Hello, people of Earth. Welcome to the Two Aliens podcast. And now, your hosts Noman and Nabil.
And we're live. How's it going, my friend?
I'm good. What about you, big guy?
I'm good. UFC was this past weekend, and what an amazing event,
Dude,
right?
freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. Once again, I have to say this thing. Amazing experience for me because it was my first time. And I gotta say, man, if it happens again, I'm quite sure it will happen again in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
gonna.
actually coming back next year.
They have basically signed a contract for 5 years. The next
Yeah.
5 years, they're gonna have this thing again. So you never know, man. You and me, we gotta go and check out this thing.
I hope this time they do it they do it during the winters or the cold
Yeah,
weather,
man,
right?
that's the thing actually. Because some fighters did actually talk about this. That when they
That they were almost dying.
exactly, man, the
Yeah, because the
humidity.
humidity was off the charts.
Exactly. Even the venue had like huge ass ACs and all that stuff was there, but still, man, a large crowd is gathered up, and
Yeah.
the fighters are also fighting
And
out in the
I don't,
octagon.
because you were there,
Yeah.
and by the way, Nabil was at the event staff for
Woo!
UFC, and this lucky bastard got to see all the fights for free. And no, but he did a lot of hard work, so props for him. And again, he was there at the event, and you might have noticed, as I noticed while I was watching it on TV, that some of the fighters were actually having a hard time breathing.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Because as I was saying before, even though with all the top-notch equipments and everything available over there on the site,
It was still pretty damn hot.
exactly, man, it was hot over there. For us, as a like maybe a huge gathering of people could have caused that. But yeah, generally for fighters, man, you need a cool place to do that thing. So once again, I would say that this month wasn't appropriate to do it. They should have done it in the winter season, like after November or something, December would have been much better for them.
I absolutely agree, man. Let's talk about the main event: Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Dustin Poirier.
Dude, mind-boggling. Seriously, freaking mind blown away. The sheer awesomeness of this guy, it's undescribable, man. The words are not enough to describe this guy's fighting style, whatever you can name it. Man, it was okay. Personally, it was my first time experience watching this guy live, and literally, this guy destroyed Dustin. He mauled him, man. And even okay, I would say the hype was really good. And Dustin, if you can see from his angle, he had
It
a
almost felt like Khabib was fighting in his hometown, right? Because
exactly, man,
the
exactly.
entire crowd, was with him.
Because I was working in the audience stand, and I saw a lot of Russians, man. I don't know wherever they were from Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, from the Eastern European side. These guys, these ladies were a lot of them over there, and it really, as you were saying, it was like a home crowd for him, home ground, and he even acknowledged it. He said that like he was himself was very surprised to see that a large
The
group
level of
people.
support that he has in Abu
Exactly,
Dhabi. That's
exactly.
correct. Yeah,
Plus, I guess the factor of
being
Islamic.
a Muslim, yeah,
Exactly, the Muslim
definitely.
factor, the Islamic factor was also there because the place where it was being held was in the Middle East. So a large crowd of people are supporters of Muslim Islams and all that stuff. So he had a plus point in that too.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what once again he said that it was like as if he was fighting in his home country.
Yeah, I felt that his striking improved from the last time he fought Conor McGregor last. It was around a year ago.
Yeah.
And I felt that his striking was a little sharper. If you remember correctly, we had a conversation earlier where I said that Khabib is still learning. So
Yeah.
I still believe he's at least 2 years away from his prime
Just
because
before.
his striking is only improving with time.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
well, full props to Dustin Poirier. I mean, he did a good job. He was able to wobble Khabib a bit in the second round.
Exactly.
But, just like a champion, Khabib knew that, okay, his world is shaking. So he took a few steps back, just made sure it stopped shaking. And then he did what Khabib does. He took Dustin down.
Yeah.
And, man, the problem is all these fighters in all their promos, all his opponents, they say the same thing, that we know what Khabib does. Okay.
Exactly.
And we are ready for it, but every time the outcome is the same. They're not ready. And one of the things that Khabib does so efficiently than I would say 90% of the fighters in the world is that he's able to use his weight.
Hmm.
He's able to use his weight very efficiently. So what he does is when he is lying on top of you,
Yeah.
he's think of it as carrying an extra bag of weight, as carrying an extra human. And
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it might look like the opponent is not doing much, right?
Hmm.
But just moving with that weight or just trying to
Hmm.
get out of a bad position with that weight
Hmm.
really takes a toll on you. And you could see it.
Exactly.
You could see it in the third round. I mean, Dustin did have the choke quite deep. I would say.
Absolutely.
I would say if he held it for
Few more seconds, I
few more
guess.
seconds, maybe just maybe he would have won. But Khabib was very good with moving his hips, just to
That was
find that
unbelievable.
room.
The
Exactly,
way he
man.
moved out from that situation, everybody was like, in a state of
Shock.
panicking. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were panicking. People were freaking out, like they don't want to lose their bet on this guy, man.
Yes.
Because this guy was round one was phenomenal. The way Khabib was on top of this guy, and then second round, slightly the situation changed. So second round or third round was it?
Yeah.
Dustin, right? The
Yeah. In the second round, he
second round.
wobbled Khabib a bit.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
the he tried to throw some punches on him.
That's
If they
correct.
had connected those punches on Khabib, he would have gone down. I think so because Dustin he showed some good strikes,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, as I said, it
I
didn't
mean,
hit
listen,
him.
man. Dustin is no joke.
Yeah,
Dustin
because
is no joke. All respects to him, but he was fighting. He's fighting the best in the world.
man, he defeated Max Holloway and even Alvarez. These guys, oh man, these guys are good. So coming up from the bottom and reaching that level, it's hats off to that guy, man. I gotta salute that guy. And even though he wasn't that, I feel he didn't throw a lot of strikes, but still, man, keeping on going till the round three.
Yeah, but that's the problem, man. Khabib was keeping his distance. He knew that Dustin has some knockout power in him, in his punches. So he was keeping his distance.
Mm.
And Dustin is not really known to be a kicker. And Khabib was forcing him to kick. You know what I mean? So he was keeping his distance. And
Mm.
if you noticed, what Khabib, the takedown strategy that he had in this match,
Yeah.
was he kept his distance and then he was exploding, exploding
Yeah.
onto Dustin to take him down.
Mm.
So he was giving him very little room to
Maneuver.
to maneuver or to pack that power punch,
Mm.
and that really worked in his favor. I mean, he is the undisputed champion. And the next up for Khabib, as I said, it's going to be Tony Ferguson. And
Mm.
yeah, like many of the commentators and analysts have mentioned, that to fight a guy like Khabib, you need someone with a grappling background. And I think Tony Ferguson is the perfect candidate, because many people forget he did start out as a wrestler.
Really?
And yeah, he did. And he's a pretty damn good wrestler. He's a black belt jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
And yeah, he's one of the most creative strikers you can find. So that is one fight to look forward to. I really hope that this fight happens soon. I mean,
But
they
I think he was saying that he wants to have some layoff. This Khabib guy. So
look. I can understand, but at the same time, come on, dude. You only fought once this year. You only fought twice last year. Okay, you've only had one fight this year, so you've had a long layoff.
yeah, you can
I
say
mean, if
so.
you're the champion, and this is the most stacked division, let me tell you, this is the most stacked division, and if you want to stay a champion, you have to be active, man.
Indeed, yeah, but now he's a big guy. He
Yeah.
can choose fights when and where he wants to.
I think UFC and Dana White are realizing the star power of Khabib, because if you remember, when his fights were uploaded and all the media content was uploaded, they got millions of views just like that, man.
Instantly, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And especially now, after the match, when he got out of the cage, Khabib, this guy, he jumped and directly went to Dana White.
Dana White,
And
yeah.
then Dana White was hugging this guy out too much, man. I'm telling you, this guy likes him now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is the next thing. This is the next guy. But
I thought it was funny when he stepped out of the cage, because I
Yeah.
think people are expecting something
Exactly.
similar to happen that happened last time. But
I was over
like,
there.
I was like, who is he gonna kick? I mean,
Exactly,
everybody
you know.
likes him here.
I was over there and I saw the
Yeah.
security guard came from behind and he was trying to catch his leg and something or his back. But the guy gave no shits. He was like, no, I'm going to jump over the other side. And then, I was like, what the hell is he doing? Is he going to punch some sheikh or some dude Arab guy over there in the crowd? But the next thing you see that this Dana White, I mean, he runs straight to Dana White and the guy was hugging the shit out of him. And Dana White was all smiles, man. So I guess Dana White knows he's the next one, and
I mean,
from
no, he's
whom
not the next one. He is the
because
one right
yeah,
now.
he's the one
Yeah.
from whom he can make a lot of bucks.
Exactly.
So
I mean, it was a sold out event, right?
exactly.
And
Like 99%, I saw that the venue was fully packed up, and
right after the match, Connor said that
that's another story, man.
book a fight with him in Moscow. I'm like, what the
What the
fuck are
fuck
you
is he
talking
thinking? He's
about?
embarrassing himself right now. I'm telling you.
Exactly, man. You're just embarrassing yourself. You know, if anyone deserves a match against Khabib, it's Tony, and there's no one else.
Dude, okay, for
Literally,
me,
okay. If he wants to pick a fight with GSP is kind of old now, man, and
he's still fighting. Okay, I'm a
he's
noob.
not fighting. GSP isn't fighting anymore. He retired.
So yeah, okay, obviously then he cannot come back. Like I'm quite sure he's above 40 something.
I mean, I think GSP might come back for the challenge, but then again, GSP has nothing to prove in the cage, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it will be, to be honest, it won't be that fun show. Okay, he's a legend.
Maybe maybe you don't know
But
actually because
it won't.
GSP even after he came back to fight Michael Bisping, he moved up a weight class, man.
Amazing. That's
He
amazing.
moved up a weight class and he won the title.
Whoa.
Yes.
From coming back from the retirement again.
Yes, and now I'm pretty sure Khabib wants to fight him at 155, so he'll have to cut the weight down.
Damn, man.
And I don't know, maybe if he's interested in the fight, he should pick it up. Conor McGregor, not so much. Dana White said that if Tony is not able to fight, Conor might get the fight. I'm like,
jeez, that's embarrassing, man.
Yeah,
that's embarrassing. Seriously, like you are the backup puppet over there in the show, man. You don't want to do that. And seriously, Conor, okay, I'm not a big fan of Khabib, but Conor, I have respect for him because why? He brought up the brand UFC as a whole onto the market in front of the public. Conor, seriously, has mad skills when it comes to trash talking. What do you think about that? And plus, he also had good fights.
yeah,
With Nate Diaz and and all the other fighters, but still the thing is he creates the hype, man. He brings the energy into the fights, man, and the media conferences and all that stuff, the trash talking, and before the fights and after the fights, this guy entertains people. He's an entertainer. Second of all, he brings money to the brand. So people might disagree with me, and has when it comes to Conor McGregor and the other one who just recently left to who went to WWE. If you know what
Brock Lesnar?
Nah, I'm saying Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
Exactly, yeah, the Ronda Rousey legend.
Ronda Rousey has been dead for a long time.
Exactly, I know she is dead. I know she's dead, but seriously, think about this. When she won, and she was winning, like her fights were killer fights, man. The way she used to destroy her opponents, and she really brought the female brand. Also,
she did. There's no denying it. But in terms of male, what do you call? In terms of UFC in general, I would disagree. I mean, UFC really had its first big superstar when Brock Lesnar came around. That's when people started watching UFC, to be honest. And then there was Anderson Silva and GSP. So these guys really built up the platform on which Conor was able to take it further.
Right.
Yeah. And
what about Randy Couture?
Randy Couture was a good fighter, yeah.
But okay, as a noob, I'm saying because I'm just recently started watching this stuff. And by the way, yeah, folks, I gotta say, I think among both of us, Numan has been following more than a decade UFC this thing. And for me, as a guy who just recently started watching this stuff, especially UFC 241, I was my first event which I watched completely. I am the luckiest freak over there, man. Because you deserved it to go and watch it, man. So I was kind of like, this is kind of unfair for a person like you who has been watching it more than a decade. And then a guy like me pops in and gets to watch the whole UFC 242. I don't know, man.
That's fine, man.
No, it's unfair, man. Come on.
No.
And think about this. There were some fighters who had some good fights, and you know their names even and everything. But for me, I was just there, and I'm just looking at them, and okay, it was fascinating for me.
Yeah.
But you
I mean,
really,
I don't think it like that. I mean, I was happy for you, to be honest.
Thanks, man.
I was happy for you. And Dustin posted on his Instagram that he doesn't know what he has in store for him, whether he wants to continue, whether he wants to retire.
Man, that's too soon to retire, I think so, man. He should continue.
Man, I think, this fight really broke him because he, knowing that you're about to beat the best fighter in the world and then you lose.
Come on, man.
It has to take some confidence off you.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe that decision was made after he had a few drinks and he didn't sleep all night. right after smashing.
Man, come on! I think he should go. He should head back into the gym, work out over there, speak with his coach, speak with his family. I think he still has it in him. He
Oh,
can
for sure
still.
he does. I mean,
He
but
even though he lost the match, his strikes were very very less. His takedown was none, but I still believe his journey is also a good
isn't
one.
over.
It is not over, and it's an
Yeah.
amazing one still in the past and in the present. I think in the future, if he
Yeah, I mean, he
continues,
should take it as a learning curve,
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. People they fall and they get up again.
Hmm.
So if this guy gets another chance, why not go for a big guy? And
Yeah.
props to this guy, man, to stand up and fight against one of the best ones, man, and to survive that. Seriously.
It felt like it was a lightweight tournament of some sorts because
Yeah, the list of
yeah,
fighters.
four of the fights in the main card were lightweight fights.
Exactly. And this one was of the heavy one. The
The co-main event, Edson Barboza, Paul Felder. You felt that Edson Barboza won. I felt that I'll
man,
be
that
honest. I'll be honest. The best decision that came into my mind, when the fight ended, I was like, this seems like a draw. Okay, but I was thinking if Edson won, he deserves it.
exactly.
If Felder wins, I can see why he won.
No,
You
man,
get
come
the
on,
language.
come
You
on.
get the language here. So
Big guy, Numan. I'm telling you, Numan. This thing, I was there in the crowd, and even a majority of the guys, when Bruce Buffer announced the results, people were booing. Man, seriously, they were against the result. I don't know. For me personally, okay, round one was hands down to Barboza. Second round
it was quite close.
was quite close, man. Was quite close.
Third round, Felder.
Felder in a sense like in the last few minutes because he was giving all the strikes and all that stuff. But for me, I don't know, and for the general public over there, Barboza hands down was the winner in my eyes. People might disagree who are listening to this, but even the crowd, if you guys were there and you would have seen that, seriously,
Okay.
this guy had it all. This guy was in the zone. He was supposed to win. Unfortunately, Barboza, has Noman is checking on the stats, and even Noman is checking on the arm reach, man. How much is 75 inches? Yeah, man. Anyways, yeah. So as we were saying that, in my opinion,
Again, I mean, the best decision that came to my mind, I was like, this seems like a good draw, and I'm happy for Felder. He makes it to the top five. If Barboza won, I would have been slightly more happier because I personally like Barboza. His knockout of Terry Atom has to be one of the best knockouts of all time, man. And yeah, this guy is known as a kicker, and when he kicked Felder, you could feel it.
dude, you just reminded me actually, man. I was standing so far,
And you
but
could still hear it, right?
dude, the dust, the way he kicked the guy's thighs and the chest, and man, it was freaking amazing. You can see from afar the dust was coming out. Guy was giving heavy kicks, man. This
You
guy,
mean sweat?
sorry.
Sweat, dust?
Maybe, yeah. I'm also wondering, yeah, why was there so much dust? But I think maybe sweat. I could be
No,
wrong.
for
Yeah.
sure it's sweat. How can
Yeah,
they
that's
weren't
what-
fighting in the sand,
Yeah,
man.
they were not fighting in the sand, though. I
They were
agree.
fighting in the desert, but they're not fighting in the sand.
Exactly, I understand. I agree with you.
I would not even like to discuss the third Islam Makhachev and Davy Ramos. One of the most boring fights of all time.
Man, they were. Man, I watched the match and I was so annoyed.
You're about to sleep.
Exactly, man. They were just, people were booing in the crowd. They were booing, man.
Yeah.
Why reason was because these guys were just circling, man. 3 rounds they had it in them, but the strikes were so less. Plus, I mean, these guys were. It felt as if I'm watching a boxing match or something, man. I swear, it was freaking boring. So no takedowns, no what do you call it, 12-by-6 elbows, nothing, man. It was just plain old boxing freestyle. I mean, like that's what I felt like.
Heavyweight showdown between Curtis Blades and Shamil Abdurakhimov.
Dude, first of all, I gotta say this is my first time watching this guy's match, and his intro freaking amazing.
Has to
man.
be the best.
Exactly. The
Best entrance music of all time.
Exactly, hands
Coming
down.
to Mortal Kombat, and he does look like who was the black guy? Jax.
Jax, exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does look a bit
Damn,
like
man,
Jax.
this guy's intro was the one, like
Not
when
saying because he's black. I mean, he's built like him.
African British, right? He's African British, right?
No, he's American.
African American. Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, so when he approached into the arena, and his music started, and he was walking through, I was like, this guy, okay, he deserves the win, man. I don't know why for me, because that music itself gives you a boost.
Yeah, and he got the second round TKO. I mean,
Man.
I'm really impressed with Curtis Blades because the fight that he had with Francis Ngannou, he's really bounced back after that fight.
Oh, he lost the fight, that one.
He lost the fight. I think he's won his last 2 fights, and yeah, he's doing a pretty good job. He's finally learned how to mix his wrestling with ground and pound and striking skills. So
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Really
yeah,
good.
it was pretty good. Props to him. Overall, I would say it was a nice card. Even the prelims and early prelims were quite good.
Dude, you forgot to mention the one with the Moroccan guy.
Yes, our Moroccan friend had the knockout. I would say one of the best knockouts of the year. What do you think?
Dude, that guy, the way he hit him, oh my god, it was phenomenal. I mean, I felt sorry for Timo, but the way he knocked him out, and the guy Timo was convulsing, man. I mean, like shaking all over the bar place, man. The guy was done.
No, I think
And
you're
face
talking.
down.
Yeah, yeah.
He went face down,
Yes.
and the guy was done, man. I'm like, people were silent over there, man. Some were shocked, and some were saying it was insane.
Yeah.
The way he hit him, just like above the above the ear, the temporal region, and that's the place where the blood vessels are really close to the skin. So the way he hit him over there, and then he just went down flat on the face. People were like, "Is this guy dead or what?" But because he didn't get up for like, I don't know, 3 or 5 minutes, he was still down, face down.
5 minutes.
Three,
That's
okay,
a
3
long
minutes.
time,
I know it sounds long because the doctors was in the octagon, and this guy was, I don't know, they were trying to resuscitate him or whatever. They were checking him out,
Okay.
his pulse or whatever that shit. I mean, like, but the guy was down, man, and it felt like an eternity for us, man, because people were like really, pin drop silence. I know it was not silent over there, but still, I mean, he shocked everybody. But then he got up, but that knockout was badass. I gotta say, it was brutal. That's the right word. One word: brutal fight.
Right. Next week, Cowboy Cerrone takes on Justin Gaethje. I think.
The cowboy.
Yeah, I would like to go with Cowboy because I mean Cowboy. I've been following him for what? I've been following him since WEC.
The hell is that, man?
WEC used to be an organization, MMA organization. They were bought out by UFC.
Okay.
Yeah, so UFC acquired all the fighters.
Oh. Man, because I'm saying is because if you're gonna ask my opinion, I'm just the reason why I'm picking Cowboy is just the fancy name. Otherwise, other than that, I haven't watched these guys play.
Well, Cowboy and Justin Gaethje both are striking artists, man, and both are really good fighters.
It's gonna be a bloody match then.
It's gonna be an amazing fight, and it was also announced that at UFC 244, the main event is going to be Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal.
That match,
Jorge Masvidal.
Dude,
Man, this is a fighter's fight, Both,
dude.
yeah, I think Dana said that he's making a baddest motherfucker belt just for this fight, and I'm all in. I'm all sold for this fight.
It's gonna be freaking close match, and it's gonna be bloody. I'm telling you.
Man, the East Coast gangster meets the West Coast gangster. It is what it is.
Dude, what do you think about this fight though? I mean, like,
who's gonna win?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love both guys. That's the problem.
Man,
I mean, I don't want either to lose. I love Jorge and I love Nate. So
man, Masvidal, the thing is for this guy, Nate Diaz should avoid his knees, man. I'm telling you, if the match starts and he comes with his knee straight to the face, boom, Nate Diaz is done. I'm telling you, man.
No, I agree with you. Jorge might look like a fighter, who's brash, but he's actually very calculated.
Oh.
Because even if you see the knee, he timed it so perfectly.
Exactly, it was sweet, man.
He timed it so perfectly.
And Askin was down like a baby, man. Boom.
Askin was dead, man. I think he went to the other dimension. Yeah.
Damn, man. But
that's going to be an amazing fight. Next month we have UFC 243. Robert Whittaker and the video game character Israel Adesanya.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want Whittaker to win, man, to be honest.
For me, I'm going with Adesanya.
And why is that? Just because you saw his fight and you haven't seen Whittaker fight?
Maybe. Yeah, okay, that's the one reason.
That's a bullshit reason.
Second thing is that the guy plays like Anderson Silva, man. I know he's cocky. He's cocky.
No, I have no problems with a fighter being cocky, man.
But
I have no problems with a fighter being cocky. I mean,
he's unexpected.
I'm not a Conor hater. I liked Conor for a very long time. Until he started doing stupid shit. So, I really like Conor as a fighter as well. But
But you're talking
As-
about the bus incident.
Forget about that.
Plus the pub incident also.
Pub incident, yeah,
Man,
that
that
was
was so
just so fucked
stupid.
up, man.
Freaking stupid.
That was so fucked up.
You're hitting an old man.
Yeah, and you can't even knock him out. So maybe Dana White should consider not giving him a title shot.
Exactly, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
this guy, he's making an ass out of himself over there, man. If Dana White gives him that fight against Khabib, it's gonna be embarrassing.
Man, second time Khabib is literally gonna kill him.
Man. Oh shit. Yeah, but seriously, this guy, he has to work his ass off. I'm talking about Conor. He
Yeah.
has to work his ass off to reach again that level of against Khabib. Because
Why I'm
Khabib-
siding with Whittaker is because anyone who can go 25 rounds with Yoel Romero,
25 rounds?
with Yoel Romero.
Oh, 25 rounds? Aren't there like 3 or 5 rounds?
Sorry,
What the
5
fuck are you
rounds.
saying, man?
25 minutes with Yoel Romero.
Even boxing matches don't have 25 rounds.
But he went 10 rounds with Yoel Romero because he fought him twice. So
Like if you
any
had
man,
them-
any man who can stand 25 minutes with
Yoel-
Yoel Romero.
Fuck, man.
Okay.
Shit.
I mean, that guy is a next level gangster.
Man, I would piss in my pants if I see, that guy. Just seeing that guy, Yoel Romero.
Yoel Romero doesn't
Oof.
look like, he was born from a woman. He looks like he was made in a factory.
Damn, man.
No, I mean, he's literally perfect, man.
Guy is good.
Yeah.
But he's 40 plus, right?
40 plus, but if you look at his body, you're like,
Man.
where does his neck start?
Exactly, man. Exactly. That guy is in that age working out that kind of level of intensity. I mean, amazing, man. Amazing. Freaking amazing. He's a beast. Hands down, a beast.
Amazing. So before wrapping up today's MMA show, since Nabil was at the UFC event, let's talk about his experience of attending his first ever UFC event and what was it like.
Folks, I gotta say it was amazing. If I have the time, I wanna just say the first day basically was like the media day in different locations in Abu Dhabi. The PA fighters were like going in and doing those autograph sessions and everything. Plus, free workouts were going on. So it was amazing to check out Khabib and plus Dustin and other fighters also. Then the next day they had this Q&A sessions in the venue, in the arena, and we got to see the fighters. I think Noman, this Chinese lady, Chang something, her name. Sorry, we cannot pronounce the name properly. Chang Wei Li something. Yeah, she was also over there. Plus Henry Cejudo. Sorry, my bad. Triple C. He calls himself Triple C.
Triple C, yeah, man.
What's the history behind Triple C, man? The guy is
Triple C because he is an Olympic gold medalist.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Whoa.
Olympic gold medalist, and in the UFC he is the bantamweight champion,
Mm.
and he is also
What is he?
the flyweight champion.
Oh yeah, he was carrying 2 belts, right? Something.
No, that's the UFC belt.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, that's the Olympic gold medal that he won, and he has 2 UFC belts: the flyweight and the bantamweight.
Damn, man.
So that's why he's Triple C, man.
But the guy, I saw him face to face,
He's short, right?
exactly. He's my height. The guy is tiny, man. Okay, I'm not saying any discrimination or something. But the guy, how does he fight, man? Because
What do you mean? How do he fights in the
I mean,
smaller divisions, man? All the guys are his size.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
Dana White arranges those fights for him. He only fights the tiny guys.
Oh, come on, man! That's what weight classes are for. Why would Dana White just find just find midgets for him to fight? What the fuck?
Oh man.
No, because I mean, just think about it.
No, I mean the guy.
Just think about it. Flyweight, the weight
Yeah.
limit is 135.
Oh,
Okay, if you weigh 135 pounds,
Mm.
okay, if you're weighing 135 pounds and you're 6 feet, yeah, I think you're basically a walking anorexic machine. And he's the champion in the 145 as well.
Mm.
Okay. Granted, there are some bigger guys. Not 145. I'm so sorry. He fights in the 125 and 135. 145 is Max Holloway.
Whoa.
Yeah. So flyweight is 125. Okay. And bantamweight is 135. Yeah.
Oh, that's close. But anyways, yeah. So they had this press.
That's why he's Triple C, man. He said he's now transgender and
Yeah, that's another podcast session we'll discuss about. But yeah. Well, okay, we got the signal. We got the signal. We can talk about it if you want to. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, we got the signal, and the thing is, in the Q&A session, people were asking questions, and one of these people they asked you know, man, this girl name is complicated.
Shang Wei.
Chang Wei. Man, you know better than me her pronunciation of the name. Yeah. So Chang Wei was
For
asked
those
that
of you who don't know, Shang Wei is the strawweight champion.
strawweight champion.
That's correct.
Oh, cool, man.
She's the strawweight champion. She won the strawweight title at UFC Fight Night China. And her and Hendy Cejudo and Valentina Shevchenko have been having this back and forth. I think it's friendly. It's just banter.
Yeah, just banter,
Yeah,
man. Just,
because Hendy is increasing his stock, man, and why should he not? He's
even
bringing more attention to the flyweight and bantamweight division.
that's
And,
good
that's
publicity.
good for the UFC.
Yeah, that's good publicity. And even on the stage that time in the Q&A session, somebody asked Chang, and they asked like if you have the moment to fight with Henry, and she said, yeah, why not? And Henry was also ready for it. So you never know, man. This guy, if he decides to change his gender, he might go for Chang again.
Let's see, man. I mean, I personally think that okay, many people say he's what do you call triple C as in triple cringe, or he's a cringe champion. Say what you want about him. You have to respect Henry Cejudo, if not for his titles, but for the fact that he is making the flyweight and the bantamweight division popular again. As you all know, TJ Dillashaw got tested hot for steroids, and the guy after him, the guy who was champion before him, Cody Garbrandt, he has been fighting like a madman. So he has lost his past couple of fights, 3 fights to be exact. So that has, and Dominic Cruz, as you all know, has been out with an injury for quite some time. Uriah Faber just recently returned, but I don't think he is in the title contention yet. And yeah, Marlon Moraes, again, he's a good name, but not many people know Marlon Moraes as well as they know someone in the bigger division, the featherweight division.
Yeah.
So as you can understand, the state of the flyweight, especially after after Mighty Mouse left.
Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a cool nickname.
Especially after Mighty Mouse left for ONE FC, and so the flyweight and bantamweight divisions have kind of been operating on borrowed time. I would say flyweight more specifically, not bantamweight, because bantamweight still has a lot of talent. And what Henry is doing is through his what do you call through his character change, or through his appearances and through his what do you call marketing strategy. He is really bringing attention to these divisions. He's creating a lot of hype. Yeah, and that's what you have to respect him. Of course, people are gonna say that he's not really bringing attention because he's talking about fighting female fighters. But he did say he wants to fight Uriah Faber. He did say he wants to fight all the guys, and I'm all for it, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the event. Yeah, back to how.
So I was saying
how it was.
The Q&A session was good, and afterwards, the next day, after the next day thing was we had this final training match also once again happened this thing, and later on the final day. In between there was also concerts. Red Hot Chili Peppers, they showed up over there, and it was a freaking amazing concert, man. They sang so many freaking songs, a lot of songs, man. Then the next day, J Balvin was supposed to show up, but I don't know, something happened. Some people were saying that the guy was sick. Some people were saying he was stuck up in South American continent, someplace over there in country. He had a concert over there, but then couldn't catch a flight or something. So that was a huge loss for the organizers in Abu Dhabi, because a lot of people had already bought the tickets and stuff. So then the third day was, the main fight thingy, and on the 7th. So it was cool. It was amazing. The reason for me was, as I was saying before, Numan was kind of unlucky because he has been following, UFC for more than a decade. And a guy like me, who is a noob, who is completely unfamiliarized with this whole event. So seeing something like this was a worthwhile experience. And to be honest, I only know a few names and stuff. And as I said before, once again, I was just started watching this stuff. But the ones whom I really wanted to like check out the fighters and plus the other people staff of UFC was Bruce Buffer, because that guy is an amazing in terms of how the way he announces it, and even my staff who don't know much about UFC, I told them like, guys and girls, you gotta listen to this guy. He's, I don't know, above 50 or something. Guy is physically fit in that age, and the best thing is, man, the way he announces the names of the fighters and stuff, and even the brands, the way he announces them is freaking amazing, man. He brings energy to the crowd, and oh yeah, but I talk about crowd. Whenever he used to hold the mic, Bruce Buffer, people would go silent, man. He draws attention, literally, and people. He has value, man. People listen to him. So, guys, it was amazing to watch him. Was expecting Joe Rogan to show up also, but then I saw his podcast the day before the event, so I had a feeling he might not show up. But still, it was good, and a worthwhile experience, a fun experience to watch. Plus, even the female fighters who were present over there, they also give a good fight. I'm sorry I couldn't pronounce their name, man. They are really complicated. But yeah, overall, it's good. And oh, by the way, there's also a fight of this lady coming up. Her name is Alexa Grasso. I don't know, Numan is gonna be like, man, what are you talking about her? But for me, I like that lady. So yeah, Alexa Grasso, her fight is also coming up. I don't know, in November, I guess, something, October or November, if I'm not wrong. And gotta be supporting her. So gotta check out her match too. But yeah, once again, for me, it was a first time experience, but it was an amazing experience. And I'm looking forward to the next one also in the next year. So yeah, Numan, what do you think about it?
Glad you enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, fantastic
I'm
experience.
really happy you enjoyed it, and thanks for tuning in. We'll check you next week with the next MMA show.
Goodbye,
Peace.
goodbye, folks.
Thanks for listening. We hope you liked the podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check us out on Facebook and Instagram. You won't regret it. Two aliens, out.